Hey guys, it's Z and Charles, and we found some videos
Yes.
of the labor and delivery of our youngest baby,
Yes.
and we thought we'd show them to you because he is getting ready to be 1 year
The
old.
big one, and I can't believe it. Um, so what we wanted to do a little bit is put in a little bit of clips leading up to the delivery of our youngest, some clips during the delivery, and one or two clips I think after the delivery. I thought it'd be pretty cool. Actually, Charles thought he suggested it'd be pretty cool to replay some of those clips and kind of, I guess, walk down memory lane, talk about how we felt in that moment looking back. To start off with, I was planning to be induced. It was around, I think, the Easter weekend when I
That's right.
was expected to be due, and I did not want to be delivered by anyone. I want to be delivered by my OB, my obstetrician. And technically, because I had gestational diabetes, which is high sugars during my pregnancy, that was a basis of why I can be induced. So the first clip that you're going to see is going to be us heading to my OB's office to see if I was dilated a bit or if he needed to proceed with the induction.
So we're driving on the way to the hospital, and Nzinga is going to get checked out by her OB and see if she's ready to be induced. And how do you feel?
I feel okay. I don't think that I'm ready to be induced yet. My cervix has not done what it needs to do yet, so I'll be in the hospital tonight. But I'm excited ish, kinda.
You were so nervous
I
there.
was. I thought I was keeping it together, but I just. So, if you guys don't know, we have three children, but two of the children I did not birth. Charles was married before me and he had two beautiful babies that when he met me, I then adopted, right? So, this was the first child that I was carrying on my own. And while I was counting down the days to see his little face, it when I tell you nerves just got the best of me, I'm sure that's probably for every first time mom or birthing mom. So I was super nervous, but I knew at that moment that nothing had changed with my body. I was not dilated, no Braxton Hicks, nothing was going on. So I knew that I was gonna have to be induced. How did you feel rewatching that?
Uh, Anxious. I was anxious, but yeah, I'd seen the older kids. I'd seen them get birthed, go through that. So, I kind of knew what to expect. Not that it's ever the same, uh, but I had a general idea.
Yeah, and as you guys know, if you don't know, I'm a family medicine physician, but during my rotations, I've seen deliveries. I've seen a lot of deliveries, but knowing what's going to happen to your body or not knowing whether you're going to have a C-section or vaginal delivery, I think is really nerve-wracking.
Right, so then after that, we got admitted right to the hospital, and I
Mhm.
think we got a video of us going into the hospital.
Yes.
Hey, we're gonna be admitted. So hopefully within the next 2 to 3 days, you should be here. I don't know if we're talking to you. I don't know who I'm talking to really, but
We could be talking to you.
yeah, maybe we are.
Okay, here we go to the hospital.
Oh, show them. Or do that.
You feeling at that
I
point?
think at that point it really hit me. So I just had my cervical check and shocker, I was not dilated. So the plan kind of what we suspected or I suspected was to get admitted. And I think it really hit me during that walk that I was going to walk in being pregnant and walk out with a whole baby, right? And like I said, I've been a mama before, but with our two older ones, I never got to, I didn't have the experience to go through
You
like the
never birthed
first,
a baby.
correct, over the first, 2 years of life. And so it just really hit me. Like I know how the human body works, but it's just crazy to think that what's inside of you is going to come out, be a whole person, and you're going to be the one responsible for what new being comes out of you. I don't know. All my mamas know what I'm saying.
I
How
told
are you feeling though at that moment walking into the hospital?
I was okay. I was okay.
You didn't feel nervous, you didn't feel anxious.
Maybe a little bit, but like I
Okay.
said, I've done the hospital thing, I've done the birth
Okay.
thing,
Okay.
so I was okay. I was okay. So Nzinga, you're checked into the hospital. We're in our
Mhm.
room. It looks like
Mhm.
this. It's really
Mhm.
nice.
Yeah, so they didn't have the IV lines hooked up. We were just checking out our digs for the next couple of days.
We were doing good there still, weren't we? We were doing good.
Yeah, they just gave me Cervidil, which is something to kind of ripen the cervix, so to speak, to get it all, squishy and, kind of lubed up, so to speak, to start the labor process. And no major contractions. There wasn't any significant pain at that point.
It's a little after 2:30 on Wednesday, March 27th, and we're here at the hospital and we're having some pretty hard contractions and we're just getting ready to have the epidural.
Yay. I shall be much happier afterwards. Yay.
Ooh, you were ready for that epidural, weren't you?
Yeah, and thinking about it at that point, my contractions weren't even at the most severe level, but I started to have a little bit of discomfort. So, yes, and I knew that was a part of my labor plan to have an epidural. Shout out to all the amazing ladies who have a natural, no medication birth, but I know, and I knew at that time what my pain tolerance was and is. So I was ready for that epidural.
And if you know me, you know that I like a good value, and an epidural is probably the best value you're ever going to find. It says max doses per hour 4. In case you didn't know, that's what an epidural looks like.
Yes, you get to click it in, pump it on in. So that's what we were kind of recording, how many pumps, where I was at, what my mixture was.
Pump, pump.
Yes. And it did the job, trust me. Actually, the first epidural that I got, it was good. And then as I started really dilating and my contractions kind of revved up, I had the nurse anesthetist actually come, and that second dose did it. Like I could not feel nothing, not my legs, nothing. It was great A. Glad I did it. Money well spent.
The oxygen is running if you can hear it.
Tell them
Okay.
what was going on at that point.
Okay, speaking of value, I knew that when we got out of the hospital, we were going to get charged for all the things we used. And I noticed they started the oxygen going, and it was just blowing into the room. It wasn't being used. We didn't ask for it. And so I think I actually made that video to document the fact that we were not using the oxygen.
I really did. You really did.
So from the oxygen video, we skipped forward quite a bit, and I missed the pushing and that part. I wasn't the best videographer, but so we kind of warp forward in time until the baby's out.
Yeah, and let's set the foundation before we get to the delivery. So I went in, or I was admitted into the hospital the Monday, and they were trying to get me dilated, and it was kind of a longer process. It wasn't until I think the Tuesday afternoon I maybe had 1 centimeter. And I was a bit disappointed with that progression. But they kept on giving me, they gave me the Cervidil, cervical whitening, they gave me the Pitocin, and it was more so the Tuesday, no, the Wednesday night, right, that I really started to dilate, right? Tuesday was pretty slow. Wednesday in the daytime was very slow, and I think we were starting to get a little bit antsy. And it was the Wednesday night that I was really laboring. My
Hmm.
contractions were getting more severe. My nurse was coming in and rotating me every which way to make sure the baby's heart was doing what it needs to
The
do.
monitor that goes on your belly, it kept falling off. It kept falling off, and so the nurse had to come in and like fix it literally 30 times.
I was so annoyed because I did not sleep at all the Wednesday night. Because when I tell you, literally every 15 minutes, she was rotating me leg up, pillow down. And she was definitely doing her job. So shout out to her. I was just so exhausted. Okay. But come early morning Thursday,
Hmm.
I would say around 4 a.m. to 5 a.m., they inserted a monitor into my cervix because I just could not keep the monitor on my belly. And it was at that point that they also checked me, or about an hour later, and voila, I was at 9 centimeters dilated. And the worst thing they could say is, get some rest. You're going to deliver soon. And how did you feel when you heard I was like 9 centimeters dilated?
I was excited. I was worried because it had taken so long, and we were finally there. And then when she started pushing, I think you pushed 3 times.
Yeah. Well, even before pushing, I was already nervous with the whole labor process, and I was like, wait, I'm about to start pushing. And I did not want a C-section, so I was glad that I was dilated, but I was also super nervous. And 9 centimeters dilated. He said, get some rest. You're going to push soon. And there's no way. When he told me I'm 9 centimeters in my mind, what's going to happen? And I knew when it came to pushing, oh, I had a good 5-10 minutes to get the baby out because I was so exhausted. I remember the nurse told me, oh, it's normal if it takes an hour or two to get the baby out. That could not be my story because I knew that I did not want a C-section, but I also knew I did not have the energy to be pushing for a few hours. It just couldn't work. So I mustered up every bit of my ancestors, all the spirits, okay, to focus in on that pushing. Now I had an epidural. I couldn't feel my legs. So I don't know if I was blowing blood vessels or doing all the things, but my goal was to get that baby out in a few minutes. And I think I did about a good, would you say a good
It was
three?
like 3 pushes.
I think he's right, about a good 3 pushes, right? And at one point, I was pushing too much. Or like, hold on, stop. I saw my OB's face. And here's the next clip that you're about to see. Yeah. Yes.
In fact,
Oh.
yeah, I think so too. Yeah. Well, that's why my stretching is there. All right, Daddy.
We made a white baby.
A beautiful baby. Don't mind my husband. I think in that moment, I was, listen, don't mind the ugly cry. That's what it was. It's me and my authentic self. But I was just like, wow, he's here, right? The baby that I prayed for, that we put over a year into trying for was there. And it was just literally more so kind of a shock. It's weird. Like I knew the baby was coming, but it was just like, he's finally here.
And that's the story of how we got our little guy into the world.
And now our little man is about to be one. I'm super proud. I'm also a little sad because this baby phase is coming to an end, although, they're always your baby. So
If you like watching us, please remember to like and subscribe.
subscribe down below. Bye.